You have these two different romantic interests in your energy. They are both presently in your energy at this time. So if that's not the case for you right now, you're welcome to stay for the tea, but that's the situation literally right now. And in this video, I'm going to focus on the King of Wands that is with your energy, the Queen of Wands. So the gender doesn't actually matter for this reading, but I'm going to refer to the King of Wands as him and the Queen of Wands as her, just so that it's really clear like who I'm talking about and how these energies work out, okay? So what I'm getting is that with the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, obviously, like, this is giving some, like, divine counterpart energy, right? Like, they're both the royal wands. There is a more, like, fiery energy with these two people. There is, like, a heat, a passion. At the same time, because they're both ruling over the same thing, right? They're both ruling over the Wands kingdom. They're both ruling over this, like, blue flame behind them. Sometimes they are kind of at odds about how to rule over the kingdom, and they are almost like butting heads sometimes. I'm also getting with how, look at how like this Queen of Wands is like staring straight ahead, and this King of Wands is looking just a little bit off to the side. It seems like this King of Wands, like his focus isn't as much on you as you are like focused on the future. It seems like he's still trying to like evolve in certain ways. I do see that this is a relationship or I actually don't think you're in a relationship. Let me rephrase. It's a connection that has been going on for some time, right? This is definitely like the first person that you know between the two energies that are in your energy right now. But there hasn't ever been like a healthy attachment quite so far with the Devil. I do see the Hierophant card though. It's like, you know, there is something spiritual here. I feel like you've probably even watched tarot readings about that specific connection on multiple occasions. You probably are getting some like soulmate energy. I honestly do feel like there is kind of like a soulmate energy here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this is a soulmate that it's in your best interest to have a lifelong romantic connection with. There's a lot of different soulmates that you can have in your lifetime, and that you will have in your lifetime, and not every soulmate is meant to be a lifelong romantic connection. So I just want you to kind of keep that in mind and like not get too attached to like the spiritual element of this connection. I asked what you can expect from this energy, from this King of Wands, and I see him becoming the Emperor, and I also see the Lover's card. It does look like he does become more of this like stronger, healthier masculine energy, right? Like the King of Wands is just responsible for the wands. The Emperor is responsible for like all the suits, so he's like ascended. Okay, so like that's a good thing that he's becoming like wiser. It does seem like this is happening for him like at a later stage in life. Like he, you know, he's still kind of youthful and maybe a bit immature still with this King of Wands, and he has to kind of like grow up a bit as the Emperor, but he does want to have this like divine love connection with you. But what I'm also picking up from this is that he wants to kind of be like the authority, and I also feel like he wants to be the one that is more like, I almost feel like he sort of sees himself as like more of the prize in a little bit of a way, and I feel like he just like sort of undervalues you. I do feel like he also recognizes that there is some sort of soulmate connection between the two of you with the Six of Cups. And in terms of, I also even asked like, what's like advice for you here? And that's when the Six of Cups came out. It's kind of like recognizing this connection is a soulmate type of connection, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your job is to be in a romantic connection. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's in your best interest. I'm actually seeing that like the outcome for this connection, I got the Magician, the Three of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. It seems like if you want to really manifest the true type of like ultimate relationship that you desire, right? Like you're watching love readings for a reason. There's a type of like happily ever after essentially that you want. If you want to manifest this, you have to operate differently in this connection, and make sure that what you're doing is seeking your emotional contentment. So is it possible that you can have emotional contentment with this person? Yeah, it is. But it's also not happening right now. And so this is an invitation for you to operate differently with this person. Try to like get out of this like negative attachment energy and step out of your comfort zone so that you can feel emotional contentment, because the more that you feel emotional contentment, honestly, the more that they will too, with the Six of Cups. And like that might be the type of love that you're able to have with one another, even if it's not necessarily romantic love. I do feel like they want to be with you. If you don't choose them, which you don't have to choose them, they're going to be surprised. Okay, I really feel like they think that they have like all the time in the world with you, that like you're not going anywhere. I kind of get the sense they're taking you a bit for granted. And so I do think that they're going to be surprised if you walk away. They'll understand, but they will be surprised. Again, that doesn't mean that you should stay with them, but that's just what I'm getting. I also just want to like sprinkle in little signs and synchronicities for you throughout these videos. So another one that I'm getting is about fried sweet dough. That could be like elephant ears or funnel cake, or like it could be like something specific for like your culture. Let me know how that resonates, because that's just coming through. All right, we've spent a lot of time on that first person. Let's go to part 3 to talk about the new person.